Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. I've been watching a scenario working its way up the charts recently and I want to give it a go. This one is called The Brain-Eating Amoeba by Guntrapper007 and it is their first scenario. Very good, let's see what you got. Normally, whenever diseases or anything comes out and explodes in proportion, governments do something about it. In this rare case, Naegleria fowleri remained under the radar till people started dying. The governments noticed, but it was nothing to worry about, just don't go diving into water. But what if that changed? We're going to be playing as the parasite Piqueus. Reason 1, it makes more sense for an amoeba. Does it? I guess kind of. The reason 2 being I didn't want you to deal with the bioweapon, which is fun, but the parasite is your favorite. Okay. Also, you're not going to let me choose my own country. Well, okay then, fine. I guess no Egypt or Saudi Arabia. Starting in the US is freaking tough, but okay, fine. Brutal and mega brutal, that's cool. Also, Pravus, if you're here, praise Pravus. Hey! Alright. That's practically an automatic thumbs up from me, am I right? Metabolic Jump, Darwinist, Aquasite, Extremophile, and Symptostasis for our parasite on Mega Brutal, Naegleria fowleri. And we are starting off in the United States. One small teenager party in a small town in Texas. The teenager was dumb enough to skinny dip into a hot pool of water. Little did he know what he had ingested would cause the end of humanity. And this is why you don't go skinny dipping, all right? I don't know why anyone would do that in the first place. I guess I sort of see the risky appeal of it, but like, I guess it depends on the company, if there's any company at all. Preferably none. But I'm just saying, next time, don't do it. Otherwise, you just killed us all. So thanks for that. You get a choice. Haha, no, you're not getting a choice to choose. Nobody does in this world. We all know you choose Egypt, Saudi Arabia, or some lame country. Well, that's just vaguely xenophobic. All right, let's go ahead and start off in the United States. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I probably would have started in Saudi Arabia. It's okay. So we have water, we have dust, and we have blood. All of these are atrocious starting off in the United States. Spread through more types of water. I'm being vague, but you get what I mean. I think I do get what you mean, and I don't like that I get it. All right, so the U.S. is considered to be urban and rich. So anything that helps me in the urban areas could be good, including dust and also in blood. I guess we'll pick up, let's say, the blood to start since it seems to be a little bit more infective. Symptoms, we have amoeba mutation, increasing the chance by 3.25. Now, see, on one hand, I like that you are specifying some numbers because the theory crafter in my head wants to say, hey, cool, I know exactly what kind of percentage increase this is. On the other hand, without some sort of a baseline scale, I actually have no idea what this means. Because believe it or not, even though I play a lot of these custom scenarios, I do not know the custom scenario creator inside and out and all the default values, so I don't worry about it. So I would just say, increases the chance to mutate, and that's probably good enough. But hey, kudos for trying, I appreciate that. Amoeba reproduction allows the amoeba to reproduce in any environment with a sacrifice of lethality and severity. For infectivity and a small boost to all environments by 1. Actually, this seems pretty darn good. I'll happily take that on. Headache. Severe headaches kick in after 5 minutes of exposure. That's not a lot of time. Severity increase alongside infectivity and effectiveness in the cold countries. Good for when we get into Canada. We have cold, heat, and drug resistance changed in color for some reason, and we also have an amoeba burst. The amoeba can combust in the air and spread to a small country, similar to a fungus spore burst, and you only get 5. That's very similar to a fungus spore burst. Instead of getting, what do I get, 10? 8? 8 and then like 2 passive ones? Something like that. Whatever. Point is, I can use that to get into Greenland. That seems great. Let's go ahead and pick up some dust. Anything that boosts me up a little bit in the urban countries right now will be good. And then I probably have to go for a level of drug resistance very early on, which is kind of expensive and not generally where you want to spend your points. But if you're going to start me off in the United States, you just got to adapt your playstyle. That's how it goes. All right? I remember the days a long time ago when I started playing Plague Inc. and stuff and started creating some, like, brutal difficulty guides, not even mega brutal. And I'm like, I think there's actually something to be said about starting in a wealthy country like the UK because you spread slower and therefore you go under the radar. God, what an idiot I was back in the days, right? I had no idea what I was talking about. No idea, but it was worth a shot. I don't know. It was fun. All right, the U.S. is absolutely exploding. Everyone's got an amoeba now. I like to think of it as kind of like the brain-eating slugs from Futurama, all right? Everyone got an amoeba, and then they're walking around and just, like, planting amoebas on everyone else's head for the heck of it, for fun. Maybe. I don't know. Let's get the headache for the cold countries. We could go for some vomiting, which actually increases the infectivity by a massive margin. A little bit of lethality, which is risky, but I'll take it on anyway. That seems okay. We're going to need some cold and some heat resistance since the United States is considered to be a neutral country, like in our last video when we started off in China. Though this one already has significantly more customization to it than the previous video, which I can appreciate. So let's go for it. Mexico's already started working on a cure. Fun. What are we missing? Most of Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, we're getting a lot of Southeast Asia, so pretty much all the islands except for the Caribbean and Iceland is still missing. That's fine. We've got spore bursts for a reason. I'm not going to pick up the mutation chance right now. Let's go for some water transmission. We could go for level 3. Apparently also increases the sea transmission and spread in the poor and arid countries. A few misspellings in here, by the way. But yeah, okay, a reddish hue. You know, this does remind me, there was a news story about basically a brain-eating amoeba in a few areas of water. I'm trying to remember where in the United States. Maybe it was in Texas. That might actually be true. I have no idea. But yeah, that is a thing that people have been concerned about. Huh. Well, anyway. Let's go for air boost in all environments except for the cold and rural. I mean, fair enough. Photophobia just mutated. Holy cram, we are spreading fast with this disease, though. Jeezums. All right, my land transmission is just, like, out the freaking wazoo. Not upset about it, but it is very, very effective. I could use some more cold resistance since we seem to be still struggling to spread in a few places. And you know what? Since we got the points, let's go for a bit more heat resistance. Just because I'm going to need help in places like Southeast Asia in particular to boost that up. But yeah, like we're not spreading very rapidly in places like Russia yet. Now we are. Holy cram! All right, we're only missing Sweden. I didn't even need a single spore burst. Not a single one necessary. Which is great since it costs 13 DNA, and I call that just a little expensive. All right, photophobia, decreasing work on a cure and stuff. That's great. Memory loss. Let's go for the mutation chance. Pick up the memory loss. That leads to a fever. And then we can have fatigue. Fatigue sets in, making people slow and disorganized. Slight increase in severity and decreases the time needed to work on the cure. Decreases the time needed to work on the cure? It should increase the time needed to work on the cure because it should slow people down, right? I would certainly hope that is the case. Hey, Sweden, can you please? There we go. Thank you. Get infected. All right, we have seizures. We could also go for some insanity. I like that so far pretty much all of these symptoms are actually focused on brain things right now. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, we could... I don't know. There's really not much need, I think, for any additional... spread modifiers. We should be fine with Sweden. I'm not really worried about our killing rate being too high. At this point, what really matters is just going for as much mutation chance as possible and then slowing down the cure. Psychosis. Decreased time needed for a cure. Again with the decrease. This is not correct, all right? You're confusing me and other people. You're not decreasing the time needed for a cure. You're increasing it. That's the whole point. I guess I'll go ahead and spend my points picking it up so that the next mutation is going to be something like cannibalism or a coma, trying to boost up that lethality. There are no healthy people left in the world now, but my lethality is unfortunately just a little bit on the slow side right now, which I do not like. There's my coma. Thank you for the extra mutation chance. Honestly, it is helping me out quite a lot. We're starting to pick up some serious DNA now that I am getting a lot more deaths. Could go for total brain death. Yeah, sure. Again, please, increase the time needed for a cure, more increased paranoia, more lethality rating. Everyone is already infected, so who even cares? This is going to be a very fast scenario again. You know what? I'm probably going to have to release 2 Plague Inc. videos back-to-back on the same day, aren't I? Yes. That is probably what I shall do, simply because these are both very, very quick. But overall, the difference between the last video and this one, even though I'd say in a lot of ways this one actually is somehow strangely easier, there may be a slight imbalance in the land transmission and a couple other factors here, but besides that, the difference in like the enjoyability of this scenario versus the previous one, because this one actually does have a theme to it, it has some customization, it sticks to it in a sensible way, significantly more engaging for me. You know, all it needs to be is just a little bit harder. 256 days, only 6% cure progress. We fricked humanity up this time around for sure. 102,541 points and 3 stars. You still got it, Pravus. You still got it. Maybe not the voice. You guys may have noticed that my voice seems to be cutting out a little bit here and there, but that's because I actually am sick right now. Yes, even I do sometimes get afflicted by Papa Nurgle. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and thank you to the creator for coming up with the scenario. If you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.